You're moving to China. You find an apartment online, great photos, perfect location, fits your budget. So you send the deposit. Then you discover the apartment isn't what you thought. The location doesn't work. The landlord can't help with your accommodation registration. Or worse, and this is something most guides never mention, your landlord simply refuses to register a foreign tenant at all, which can make your entire lease legally problematic from day one. I've seen this cost foreigners 30,000 RMB, over $4,000 USD, before they earned a single yuan in China. I've lived here for more than 7 years, and one of the biggest mistakes I see foreigners make is treating renting in China like renting back home. It isn't. I'm Joe, and this is the Middle Kingdom Code, the channel where I share everything I've learned from 7 years on the ground in China, so you don't have to figure it out alone. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to approach renting an apartment in China as a foreigner in 2026, where to look, what to check, what to sign, and the mistakes I'd avoid. Subscribe before you leave. Every week I publish honest, practical guides built on real experience. You'll want the next one. Let's go. 1. Don't rent long-term before you understand your location. The biggest mistake I see, signing a long-term lease before experiencing the city. You commit based on photos and a map. Then you discover the commute takes 90 minutes. The nearest supermarket is nowhere close. The neighborhood feels nothing like what you imagined from thousands of kilometers away. My approach is simple. Arrive first. Stay somewhere temporary. Then find your long-term apartment. A week or two of temporary accommodation is almost always worth the flexibility it gives you. You're no longer making a major decision from the wrong side of the world. 2. Know what you're actually looking for. Before you contact a single agent, define your requirements, starting with your life, not the apartment. Where will you work? How long are you willing to commute? Do you need a subway nearby? A Western kitchen? An elevator? Reliable internet? A separate bedroom? And what is your actual monthly budget? Not just the rent, but the total cost including utilities, management fees, and internet? Write down your non-negotiables before you start searching. It's very easy to fall in love with a beautiful apartment that doesn't actually meet the needs you started with. 3. Where do you find apartments? The best source depends on your city. In major international cities, Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, you'll find English-language housing platforms, foreigner-oriented agencies, and active expat WeChat groups. In Tier 2 cities, you'll rely more on local Chinese language platforms. The most commonly used in 2026 are Anjuke, Lianjia, also known as Beike, and Ziroom for managed apartments. Most listings are in Chinese, which is where having a Chinese-speaking colleague or local contact becomes genuinely valuable. Don't underestimate WeChat groups. Some of the best apartment leads I've ever seen came through word of mouth in a local foreigner group rather than any official platform. One important point: a listing being online doesn't mean it's legitimate, accurately described, or still available. Treat every listing as the beginning of the process, not proof that everything is fine. 4. Don't trust the photos. Photos are marketing. When you visit in person, check everything. Natural light at the time of day you'll actually be home. Water pressure, air conditioning and heating. Turn them on and confirm they work. Every appliance listed in the rental. Windows, bathroom condition. Any signs of dampness or mold in corners and behind furniture. And don't stop at the apartment. The condition of the building's common areas and entrance tells you a great deal about how the property is managed. 10 minutes of checking before signing can save months of frustration afterward. 5. Location matters more than the apartment. A great apartment in the wrong location can become a very difficult place to live. Before signing anything, do the actual commute, at the time you'd normally leave, not on a quiet Saturday afternoon. Check the subway, buses, and walking distances. Check what happens if a line is delayed. Then check what's actually around you. Supermarkets, pharmacies, restaurants, an ATM, a gym if that matters to you. China's cities are genuinely larger than most foreigners expect before they arrive. A 20-minute commute on the map can become 45 minutes during morning rush hour on a crowded metro line. Don't let a beautiful apartment make your location decision for you. 6. Understand who you're actually renting from. Before handing over any money, understand exactly who you're dealing with. Is this the property owner? A real estate agency? A property management company? Someone subletting their own rental? Each arrangement carries different implications for your contract, your deposit, and your protections if something goes wrong. If you're not dealing with the owner directly, ask clearly what authority the other party has to rent the property. A legitimate landlord or agency will answer that question directly and without hesitation. Quick pause right here. Have you already rented an apartment in China? What's the one thing you wish someone had told you before you signed? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one. And your experience might save the next person watching this video from making the same mistake. Okay, let's keep going. 7. Never skip the contract. Never rely on a verbal agreement for anything important. Your written contract should clearly state the rental period, monthly rent, deposit amount, payment schedule, utility responsibilities, maintenance responsibilities, what happens when something breaks, and the conditions under which either party can end the tenancy early. Anything you've specifically negotiated, a repair before move-in, a piece of furniture being replaced, a specific arrangement about a bill, goes in writing, not left as a promise made during a viewing. If the contract is entirely in Chinese and you don't read Chinese, get it properly translated or explained by someone qualified before you sign it. I'm not a lawyer, and this is not legal advice, but 7 years of experience tells me clearly. The people who avoid the most problems are almost always the ones who understood what they signed before they signed it. 8. The deposit is not the only money you need. The advertised rent is only part of what you'll need up front. Before agreeing to anything, ask one direct question. How much total money do I need to pay before I get the keys? Depending on the city and arrangement, that could include 1 to 3 months deposit, first month's rent in advance, an agency fee, and a building management fee, all due before you receive a single paycheck. In Shanghai, that upfront total can easily reach 21,000 to 27,000 RMB, $3,000 to $3,900 USD, before you've earned a single yuan. If you want the full breakdown of what China actually costs in 2026, housing, food, transportation, healthcare, I've covered all of it in detail in my cost of living video. The link is in the description, and I'd strongly recommend watching it alongside this one before you make any financial decisions about your move. Get receipts or written confirmation for every payment you make. 9. The registration rule. Every foreigner must know. This is the most legally important section of this video, and it has a significant 2026 update that most online guides haven't covered yet. Under China's Exit and Entry Administration law, foreigners staying in accommodation other than a hotel must complete accommodation registration within 24 hours of arrival. Hotels handle this automatically for their guests. For private apartments, guest houses, and private homes, the responsibility falls on you, your landlord, or whoever is providing the accommodation. Those who fail to complete accommodation registration as required may receive a warning or, in some cases, be fined under Chinese law. Now here's the 2026 update most people don't know yet. Starting March 20th, 2026, the National Immigration Administration launched an online accommodation registration pilot in 7 provincial-level regions: Hebei, Liaoning, Zhejiang, Hubei, Guangxi, Chongqing, and Sichuan, with plans to gradually roll out nationwide. Previously, the process typically required a visit to the local police station. Under the new pilot program, registration can be completed online and carries the same legal validity as an in-person filing. Registration can be completed through the NIA Government Service Platform website, the NIA 12367 app, and the 12367 mini-programs on WeChat and Alipay. For first-time filings, your landlord is expected to assist with the registration since they're more familiar with the property information. You can register independently if you've previously registered online at the same address, or if you own the property yourself. The offline registration channel at local public security organs will remain available for those outside the pilot regions or who prefer in-person registration. Now, 2 critical things to confirm before signing any lease. First, make sure your landlord is willing and able to complete accommodation registration for a foreign tenant. As I mentioned at the start of this video, some landlords aren't, for various reasons. Discovering this after you've signed and paid a deposit is a serious, expensive problem. Confirm this before you commit. Second, if you're moving to one of the 7 pilot regions, download the NIA 10367 app or find the WeChat mini program before you arrive. Complete registration within your 24-hour window. It is far easier than dealing with a missed deadline later. 10. My step-by-step approach. If I were moving to a new Chinese city today, here is exactly how I'd approach it. 1. Choose my target neighborhood based on commute time and daily logistics, not based on how the apartment looks in photos. 2. Book temporary accommodation for 1 to 2 weeks. A serviced apartment or a reputable hotel gives me time without pressure. 3. Spend my first days learning the neighborhood on foot. I want to understand what daily life actually feels like there before I commit to a year of it. 4. View multiple apartments, never just one. 5. Compare several options rather than committing to the first property I like. The first apartment you love is rarely the best apartment available. 6. Confirm clearly who I'm renting from and what authority they have over the property. 7. Review all written terms carefully before signing anything. 8. Confirm the complete upfront cost, deposit, first month, agency fee, everything, before agreeing to proceed. 9. Confirm the landlord's willingness and ability to complete accommodation registration for a foreign tenant before signing. 10. Only then, sign. 11. 3 red flags I'd never ignore. Red flag 1. Pressure to decide immediately. Someone else is viewing this apartment this afternoon. Transfer the deposit today or lose it. Slow down. A legitimate landlord offering a legitimate property does not need you to make a panicked decision. Urgency is a tactic, not a genuine constraint. Red flag 2. Something doesn't match. The photos differ from the actual apartment. The person you're dealing with can't clearly explain who owns the property or what authority they have. The price changes between your first conversation and the contract. Terms you agreed verbally don't appear in writing. Any mismatch between what you were told and what you're seeing is worth stopping for. Red flag 3. Refusal to put agreed terms in writing. If you've negotiated something, a repair, a piece of furniture, a specific arrangement, and the other party refuses to include it in the written contract that tells you everything you need to know about how that agreement will be honored after you've signed, you don't have to accuse anyone of dishonesty. You simply don't have to proceed. Outro. Renting in China doesn't have to be a stressful or confusing experience, but it does require understanding the system before you commit to it. Arrive before you sign. Evaluate location before the apartment. Understand who you're dealing with before you hand over money. Get everything important in writing, and handle accommodation registration correctly from day one, especially now that the online option has launched in multiple regions and the rules are actively being enforced. Do that, and you'll avoid the mistakes that catch most first-time renters completely off guard. If this video helped you, subscribe to the Middle Kingdom Code. Every week I publish honest, practical, experience-based guides for foreigners living, working, teaching, and navigating daily life in China. Like this video if it gave you something useful. It helps the next person find this before they sign the wrong lease. Share it with anyone you know who's getting ready to rent in China. You might just save them from a very expensive first lesson. And drop your biggest apartment question in the comments below. I read every single one, and your question might become the next video on this channel. I'm Joe. This is the Middle Kingdom Code. I'll see you in the next one.